Welcome to the Don't Be Smart, Alec podcast. With me here, I'm Alec Hamlin. Sitting next to me is our producer, Nick.
What's up?
We are one man down, unfortunately. Our lovable Nick Dagshire, a.k.a. Lefty, is not here today, so it'll just be me and producer Nick talking. So instead of our usual thing that we do where we have a discussion and we find out a winner because we need to stomp the loser into the ground of shame, we are just going to go ahead and have just a wonderful discussion about the worst work stories that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off with a I was working at a retail store, and I was over in the electronics section, and I was helping one of our coworkers in the toys department.
Okay.
So they were right next to each other, right? So we always worked with each other. And me and him are talking. We're just shooting the shit. And I'm wearing a San Jose Sharks jersey at this point. And they were doing really good during this season. So you can tell that I'm old. Because they have not been doing well. I know that you're not a hockey fan.
No, it's all good. Because, when you explain jokes, they're so much fun.
I know, right? It's crazy. So we're just shooting the shit. And
it's all good.
This old lady, this woman, this grandma who she's like 65, maybe like 68. She's with her very young grandkid.
I believe the term is GILF?
No.
Oh.
No,
okay.
It's not. She comes over and she was clearly like in the middle of a discussion with her kid, like when she was moving over into this aisle, and it was about like the Sharks or something like that. So this kid's a fan, and she sees my jersey, and she's like, "Oh, hey, look at that, Sonny! He's a fan of your Shark team there." And so she comes up to me, and she's just getting super weird and like close, right? And then at this point, my coworker that I'm talking to just abandons me, just leaves me, like, I don't want any part of this. And you know what? Hey, not every man, like, leave people behind is his
no
slogan.
bro code. No bro code.
So it gets to a point, she literally grabs my shirt, like my jersey, right?
Yikes.
And she like holds it open and looks underneath my shirt. She's like, "What else you got in there?" And I was just like, I don't know how, like, do you need any assistance with toys, man?
Sexual
like,
assault is real.
I was like, can I leave? And I'm looking over at the Greg, and he looks mortified, right? So she's like just literally yanking my jersey and like, looking in, like, just like looking my body up and down, and just like, what else you got there? And
I think she wanted to yank more than your jersey, huh? Is that a shudder of pure intense emotion you got there?
It's pure intense something. I don't know what quite to call it. So I was able to escape, and as soon as I like round the corner, I walk back over to the electronics section, like the register where my coworker and a couple other coworkers have flooded to. And immediately as I round the corner, I'm just like, "What was that? What was that?" And they're just laughing. They're like, I was just molested over in the toys section by this old lady, and they just think it's hilarious. So yeah, that happened. And I'm going to go ahead and pass on the next terrible story to you. I want to hear what you're going to do, so then maybe I can top that one.
Terrible. I mean, I'm not going to try to top old lady molestation because
you can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's like criminal, just maybe. But
I feel like with like old people, right? Like they just act like, they get to an age and they can just, like I don't have to obey the law now. It's fine.
Yeah, I have one that wasn't
obeyed. I was gonna touch up on this 24-year-old. Some nice nipples. Sorry, go ahead.
I've had some crazy bosses before, and I can't say the company. I don't think they're around anymore. But it was a warehouse, and I was the only employee. And this dude ran a warehouse that his brother owned. So he was like basically the CEO or manager of it, whatever. I don't know. The crazy part though is that like I knew he was a little strange, But as time went on, I realized that like up in the second floor, there was a room that was always locked, and the window kind of overlooked the warehouse.
Super shifty so far. Got it.
Yeah, and then one time I was up in that area, and he was like coming out of the door, and I realized like there was like a bed and a TV and like a dresser, and he was like living. He was living at the warehouse. Mind you, this is the only guy I've ever known that had a metal black card, like credit card. Like, I don't know if you know what the metal.
Oh no, yeah, no,
yes,
no. Okay,
a
okay,
limitless MasterCard.
And he's still okay. That's why he's able to afford so much stuff
I
because he's not
guess.
paying rent. Yeah.
So, but that's not the.
He just knows
That's
how
not
to
the
live
worst
life.
part about him. The worst part about him is like I had to. By the way, I just want to say I had to quit after this. But I remember, I forget what it might have been us working on like Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but some reason the racist came out in him. He told me about how he had these theories that like Martin Luther King Jr. was actually gay, and that he was killed because of it, and that he had all these secret boyfriends, and he's like recorded by the CIA like saying some crazy gay shit. And so honestly, like that to me was one of the craziest days of my life. I was just like, what the yeah, okay, whatever. And then literally next day I had to put in my 2 weeks. I was like, I can't work for somebody like that. You know what I mean?
I just want you to get into the mindset of that guy too, where it's just like he comes up to you on that day in particular and be like, yeah, I could trust this guy. He shares my ideology, right? Like,
he was even like, yeah, I'll recommend you the book that like he read. And I'm like, book? Like,
dude,
no.
Like if somebody came up to me, like, and just started spewing like that, like just a racist hate speech
Yeah.
like that, I'd start to look at myself and just be like, what am I projecting that this guy sees me as an ally here? I need to change some things that are going on.
Yeah, no, I was like, dude, it was just so wildly random. You know what I mean? And I mean, this guy was already a creeper to begin with, and like that was just the final straw for me.
How did that start? Like just like,
Like,
crazy
so,
weather that we're
like,
having,
in
right,
this-
Rick? Yeah, I know.
No, in
hey,
this-
I got some things I want to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. with you.
No, I don't even fully remember. It was so long ago. It was like over a decade ago. It was
just
right
tried to
after
block
high
that
school.
out
It was
as
like
much as you
right after high school. It was like my first job going into college, and I was like trying to save up money going into the first semester. So I got this job. It was just like a summer job, and yeah, I don't even remember how it came up. We used to talk about all kinds of crazy things, and I thought, he had some weird takes, but nothing that was ever like red flaggy or racist-y like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, of course, somehow on like Martin Luther King Jr. Day, like he just drops this like, did you know that Martin Luther King Jr. was actually gay? And I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, yeah, I don't think he was gay. Like, didn't he have like a family and a wife? And like, there's like Martin Luther King Jr. the third or some shit, right? He has a son that was the same name, I believe. And he's like, no, the CIA have these recordings. I read it in this book. You can hear all these. I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear this book. I don't want to hear this bullshit.
I always like too how it's like the psychos who are always like, no man, like it's this thing from the CIA. It's like how did you get that information from the CIA then? Like,
the CIA is just like, listen, there's this huge secret. Okay, Martin Luther King Jr. was gay.
It's like it's a secret. Then why do you have that? Like
Yeah.
you don't work for the CIA.
No,
Like-
I know. So yeah, I mean, when I'm talking about weird work stories, that is one that sticks out probably the most to me that I'll never forget. Yeah, that I'll never forget.
See, like the best part too is just like you guys can't see, but there's a couple of people who are just chilling on the couches watching this, and I just look over and see Goodyear just kind of like, what the?
Yeah, it was the strangest day. One of the strangest days.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be
And
a
it's
reason
like,
to quit. Because here's the thing too: if you don't quit after that,
Yeah.
like that guy is just like he didn't quit, so clearly I can tell him everything.
yeah, and I don't want to know where his other skeletons are buried. Okay, I don't want to become one either. That's the biggest thing. Because the dude who's just willing to like spew some craziness like that, And I distinctly remember him saying some shit when he's saying it too, like, no, listen, I'm not racist or anything, which is...
If you have to tell somebody in the middle of a story, like, hey, I just want to clarify, I'm not racist, you are 100% racist.
Yeah, I think that's like, no offense. You know when people say, like, listen, no offense, but... I'm about to fucking offend the shit out of you.
No, it's like whenever somebody says, like, hear me out, it's never anything that you should hear somebody out on at all. Like, hear me out, all right?
No.
I just think that we should, like, get rid of everybody on the earth except for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we could go into that whole Illuminati thing. Oh, God. Like, I don't... if I was to look at the world from a bird's eye view... Like, I don't think the Illuminati's directive is that bad. You know what I mean? 100,000 people.
Here's the thing. I don't even know like what the Illuminati's direct thing is, because like I'll talk to crazy people who are like methed out of their minds and like, hey man, it's all about the Illuminati. It's like, what are they trying to do? And I'll get like 7 different opinions from the same guy.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I've always understood them as like this shadow group that eventually wants to like whittle down the human race back to like 100,000 for the whole planet.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know. But then the problem with that is like, you know, how do you choose? And it's like, are they going to do it by like racial or ethnic or by money terms? That's where all the problems start with that.
We might need to redo that because somebody pulled their phone out.
No, we're good. We won't even hear that. I'm gonna cut that part out.
By the way, before we continue, you were giving like crazy. Did you like have something that you wanted to come in and share quick or what?
What are you guys talking about?
It's in your most sexual voice humanly possible.
Okay.
Please. Yeah. So sitting next to me is one of the funniest people that I have ever met in my life, and that's not a joke. My roommate, my partner in comedy as well, Jacob Goodyear. Definitely go ahead and follow him on TikTok at Good Comedy. Jacob, I hear that you have a terrible work-related story to share with us.
Well, okay, so we're supposed to tell them in like order of like worseness, right?
Just, I want you to just tell whichever one that you need to bring into the.
Well, I guess the one that comes to mind is when I talk about my stand-up, how like I used to work at a movie theater in Oregon, and my boss was 6'6", morbidly obese, and he always brought a gun to work, like on his holster.
Not in one of the flaps.
That's what I'm about to say. His fat flap hid the gun.
Oh, nice.
But like I knew it was there, so it was like accidental concealed carry or something.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's
like
cool.
So anytime he said anything to me, I just had to agree with him because I was scared that he would shoot me.
Yeah, but it'd like take him like 10 minutes to like, you know, bury through the fat flaps to
Just
pull
like,
the pistol
piece
out,
of candy.
right? Just,
you know?
Hello, would-be attacker. Just hang on there a second.
Hey.
Here we go.
I wonder why this trauma is coming up.
Well, you know, anyways, he would ask me stuff like about music and like, what kind of music do you like? I'm like, well, what kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
And he's like, Motley Crue. And I'm like, oh, Motley Crue. Yeah, Motley Crue is the best music of all. I love Motley Crue.
She's my cherry pie.
And he says, okay, who's your favorite band member?
The guy with the hair.
On the Crew? Motley?
Yeah.
And then he shot me. So I had to,
Oh, fuck, dude.
I had to quit that job.
Damn.
Okay, so like...
You didn't get workman's comp?
Yeah.
That's nice.
All the popcorn I could steal.
Yeah. They're like, listen, we'll give you movies for a year, just don't sue us.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
you...
Oregon, man.
You've told me about this job before. Isn't
Yeah.
this the same guy who would just like watch Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis like every hour on the hour
Yes.
while you're...
You see, when you guys are talking about
Oh
the
my
fat
God.
flap thing, I think he's using that as a strategy. He's like, I
It's
got
a Kevlar vest. at that
I've
point.
got I got a knife under this
It's
tit.
like, no collateral damage here.
I got a stun gun under this roll.
Oh, my God.
He's ready.
He played Halo once, and it was just like, I need to develop my own super suit,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
I need to be able to hold all these weapons.
Hey man, he's survived a lot of stabbings. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, he's got his little energy shield from all the fat
Oh
cells.
my God.
Are we fat shaming at this point?
No,
Have we
I think
crossed
we're
that
fat
line,
jealous.
Or
Yeah.
no, I mean I
No, I mean,
definitely
I'm
want,
fat,
like,
so it's allowed.
I don't think you're fat like my boss was fat.
No,
he was
no.
fat.
No. I mean,
Like you don't have rolls hiding your upper
definitely
thighs.
not. Just my penis. That's it. It still works though. I have 3 children to prove.
I guess you don't need to see it for it to work.
Dude, oh my God. So I'll tell a hilarious story that's not work related. That was hilarious today. That happened to me. As we were getting home from a restaurant that we ate at, and I was like, "Babe, I gotta go take a shit so bad." And she's like, "Do you remember that fucking Family Guy episode where Peter just turns to Lois and goes, boom, and punches her in the face. Fuck you, Lois. And they like start fighting over who goes to the bathroom first.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
And she's like telling me that. And she's like, that's what it feels like because I have to go take a shit too.
The way,
Oh my
the way
God.
that
I'm
you
like, what the
started that,
fuck?
though, the way that you started that, though, was just, do you remember that episode where that guy punches his wife in the face?
I said
and I was
Lois.
starting to, yeah, no, where it's just like where Peter punches Lois in the face. And that was when I was just kind of starting to be like, Nick, are you trying to tell us something? Like, are we,
No. My wife.
do we
would
need to
beat
call
me up.
somebody?
My wife would beat me up before I ever touched her. That's for sure. Oh man.
So is that how you know you're in love, when you share a bathroom with a woman?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. I think it's the first time you get a Blumpkin.
Oh.
I know what that is, but for our audience.
Yes. It's a pumpkin.
Oh.
No. It's a shit while you're getting serviced. It's servicing 2 orifices at one time.
That is literally
It has to be
that
YouTube
is the
friendly.
worst-
It has to be YouTube
That is
friendly.
the worst way to do
I like multitasking, but not that much.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about the pleasure though. It's got to be through the roof. Because I'll tell you,
I'm
I
gonna
enjoy
get
good
us
shit.
But
back
her
on
pleasure.
track. I'm gonna get us back on track.
Hey,
So
you have to sacrifice in a relationship, okay? There are sacrifices.
Oh my god. She's going to be traumatized by the smell and never do it again.
Hey man, we all sign up for something, right?
I don't think that's in the vows.
No, but
Unless it wasn't yours.
I mean, but we've all seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup. And so there's somebody out there
I've
who
done
enjoys it.
everything
Okay.
that I can to repress the memory of
No,
seeing
you know
that
what's a worse one? You know what's a
god-awful
worse
video.
one? Tell me this is not the worst one. Is the tub lady is way worse. You know
Okay,
what
okay,
tub lady is?
here's the thing, right? Like before we get into that, I had this friend in high school, Jake Doran. He doesn't mind that I use his last name. I do it all the
boy.
time.
Just drop the last name.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
nothing.
just absolutely just put it through the word. Yeah, look, fuck it, I'll do that.
He's gonna get some emails.
I used to have this friend back in high school, Jake, and he would do everything in his power to try and find the worst video on the internet and then send it to me and the rest of the people in the
boy.
friend group, literally with the sole intention of just like, who can I traumatize today?
Yeah.
I have seen some things that cannot be unseen.
Yeah.
Like, and here's the thing too, like some of the videos that he did, like there's this one video,
Oh boy.
it's literally entitled "Cake Farts."
Oh no.
Where this woman just basically she like looks into the camera and she's just like, "Do you guys like cake farts?" And I remember when I'm watching this, I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I don't understand what's about to happen.
Sounds
Jake
tasty.
just put on a video and said, "Look at this hot chick," and I thought it was gonna go somewhere else. She then just hops onto a cake and it's exactly how it sounds. Just starts farting right then and there. So my thing is this: he found that video somehow, and I don't was he typing into Google, right? Just I want cake, I want farts. What are you gonna give me, Google? And then he would and like a psychopath, he would just show that to literally everyone he could.
And where is he today? Prison?
No, he's got a very good job and a family.
Oh boy.
That
That's
would ruin
crazy.
cakes.
Yeah.
Not
How can you ruin cakes?
me and
for
him
someone?
ate cake like a couple months later.
Oh,
like
I can
you know,
eat cake the same day.
I think his thing is like because he's the
No
guy
problem.
who's like clawing the chalkboard,
Yeah.
so like it does like he like
Yeah,
he doesn't
it's-
hear
it's
the
a joke
screeching
to
as
him.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like me, I like cake.
So in cake farts, is it just like cake batter on her butt and she farts and a little
No,
poof
she-
of...
No,
She,
they're like, I
like-
think they're cooked cakes.
Oh.
No,
So she's
it's
farting
like,
on-
It's a fully baked cake.
Yeah.
right.
Made with
Like-
her fart.
No. It's like a regular baked cake for a birthday. And then she like shirt vages herself. Like, she's just wearing a shirt. She's not even topless, right? And just like hops onto the cake, just like bare ass, and just starts ripping ass right there.
So it's like a frosting or a glaze.
It sounds fake to me.
That's a way to describe it.
It sounds like they
Was it
like,
runny?
Yeah, was it diarrhea-y?
I'm sorry. I just went somewhere in my head for a second to a place that I did not enjoy.
Because if
Being
it's
back
just
there?
because if it's just air farts, it'll dissipate and that cake might still be all right.
Yeah. I would still eat it. You don't get pink
Depends
eye
on like
in
if
your
it's
mouth.
yellow cake. I love yellow.
You don't
cake.
get pink eye in your mouth. Okay, so as long
I've
as you
heard
don't,
that. I
so
heard
as,
it now.
as long as you don't rub it in your eyes, you're good. Right?
I'm gonna get us back on track here.
I
believe the podcast episode was worst work stories, not let's traumatize Alec for the rest of his life
Hey,
by bringing
that
up
was
these
her
videos.
work.
Yeah.
That was cake fart lady's job.
Yeah, she definitely got paid for that.
That's not like a
Cake
hobby.
fart lady's job.
She's a very
That's
niche,
her profession.
The respect that you gave her. That
a
was
very
fart
niche
lady.
part of the
Come on.
pornographic
She is a
industry,
lady.
okay?
Mrs. Fart Lady
Listen,
to you
just
son
because
of a
they put her in
bitch.
the corner of the AVN convention doesn't mean she's not there.
It's
okay?
still a category. Damn
Okay.
it.
Cake farts. Don't
They
forget.
still invited
Dessert
her,
sex.
by God.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm only gonna eat cookies now. That's all I'm thinking.
Here's the fucked up thing is that like
Is
you
that
know,
cookie
I-
farts was the next the next fucking video they watched?
the messed up thing is the fact that like I just relived trauma of that video, and like it did make me remind me of this cake that Laura got me, like this mousse cake, and now I'm really hungry for mousse cake.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
want the farts on it, but by God, that one cake was delicious.
Don't tell him how you made it. Okay, that's all he needs.
By
to
the
know.
way, while we were talking about those videos, Laura got up from the couch and just like left for a little
I
bit.
don't
like, I
blame
can't be
her.
here. I'm not gonna be.
I
a part of
wanted to
this.
walk away too,
hey,
but
what?
I have to fart, so I might come
Yeah.
out.
Oh no. We're gonna get Mike farts here. Watch out.
Yeah, and that would be the new fetish.
Yeah. Alex's new.
So
Alex.
I'm gonna. Oh, you
Alex.
bastard.
Not.
Don't you do it.
Alex.
Don't you dare.
Well, how do you say Alec apostrophe S?
That's the fucked up thing, man.
Alec.
Like what? So okay, like I get called
Oh my god.
I get called Alex all the time, right? Because like people just hear Alec and they'll just think like, oh no, Alec isn't a name. It's clearly Alex. And so like I remember when I was a kid, I hated getting called Alex, right? But the worst part is that when you say my name in like an ownership way,
Yeah.
right? Like it becomes that like let's go over to Alex's house.
Yes, this is
Let's
Alex's
ride an
podcast.
Alex car.
It's not
You
mine.
bastards.
Did he say that?
What?
Did you say that?
Bastards?
No. Did you say it was only your podcast?
No, it's like we co-created it. Like
yeah, but it's smart Alec.
it's the don't be
Alex's
smart.
podcast.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like we like just took
No,
the
no,
name
no,
for
I
that
was just
TikTok,
making
but
a
yeah,
joke.
no, it's very much like
I
our
think it's
thing.
I like jokes.
5149.
I like
I
jokes.
get them sometimes.
They're cool.
It's all good.
I
I'm not a
like
good
these
joke teller.
things called tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Do we have any more work stories of grossness?
So work stories. Okay, so let's get back onto work stories. So I believe we heard from you two.
I have another.
So
I have a bad story that's criminal that I did, but I don't know if I should say it.
You've piqued my interest. Well, here's the thing.
I won't
To any
say where I
lawyers in the
worked.
comments, let us
Yeah.
go ahead
But-
and
Say
know
it, say
the
it.
statute
But
of
here's the thing,
limitations
here's the thing.
issues.
If I say how I did it, then you'll know where I worked if you looked up my history. So I'm not gonna say it.
Lie slightly.
You
Yes.
can't just like, oh hey, I have this amazing
This
story
podcast
about
hasn't
how I
worked out yet.
committed
If this podcast
crimes,
was working
and then
out,
just like
Yeah.
leave
it'd
us
be
there.
another
Like you
thing.
can't like prepare us for this journey and then just be like, nope, kids, you're going back to your room.
So we need more subscribers so
Yeah.
we can hear his illegal stories.
Yeah. When we hit 50,000 or get our first sponsorship, I'll tell the story.
And that leads us to our next point. A word from our sponsors, Grifters Cola. It's 99.99% radium. Don't know why they want to brag about that, but that's cool. Moving on.
I like yellow teeth. Yeah.
Or
As long
no
as they're
teeth.
glowing.
It's a flashlight.
I know. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Turn off the lights, guys. I got something to show you. It's a cool trick.
Grifter's Cola.
So, getting back on track as far as worst work-related stories. So this one, I mean, it's not like a terrible situation that happened to me. I just genuinely love this one. I used to work at a movie theater for a seasonal job because after like the small, get to know me for like, a month that I worked there, the like couple months that I worked there, they were like, yeah, we don't ever want this guy back in our life ever again. So I was working in concession, and there was this one dude who, me and him, like, we would always try to work together, and whenever we did, just stupid things would happen.
Was it Derek Dolphy?
No, it was this kid named Matt.
The ninja knife fighter himself?
No.
He walked through a glass door, and he got a bunch of scars on his face, and so he would always, like, be like, yeah, I was in a knife fight.
With myself.
Was this somebody that we went to high school with?
Derek Dolphy.
No, I don't remember Derek Dolphy.
I might have to blank his last name.
Derek, like that.
Yeah. Derek beep.
No, I don't remember who that was.
It's crazy that he got cut up because, like,
Derek.
my dad told me a story where he took a bunch of acid and went home, and then he ran through a glass door, but he wasn't cut up at all.
What a charming father-son tale.
I know.
So
His parents had to call the police on him too. It's the only time he ever spent the night in jail.
Jesus. So
The 70s were way cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better music.
Yeah.
Better drugs.
Definitely better drugs. Well, more even keel drugs. Shit that wouldn't just outright kill you. Now we have like
in the
fentanyl and yeah. Like, yeah, who's putting fentanyl in the coke? Like, if you're a drug
Mexico.
dealer out there, like, stop putting fentanyl in the coke.
You hear that, Mexico?
Nobody wants that. Just put fentanyl in the fentanyl, and then people will be happy.
You hear that,
Or
China?
just put the fentanyl in Grifter's Cola. No one's buying that anyway either. So
People might buy it, actually.
Fentanyl Fetty. That's their new flavor, fentanyl Fetty.
people hear that and like just like Grifter's Cola's got fentanyl. Hell yeah, let's go buy a case.
Oh my gosh. Hey, if we get famous off that, I'm down.
We can use the drug epidemic for sales.
Oh my god. So
I told him we should sell real cola. like bottle real cola as like fentanyl Fetty and like like all the flavors.
Old fashioned style.
Yeah.
and the new flavor of radium cola now too.
It's like we call it like Coke cane, like with an apostrophe.
Cane sugar and cocaine.
Yeah. It really
We're
keeps
just
you up.
really proud of the real sugar that we're putting in our cola. That's it,
The
guys.
booger sugar, that is.
Real cocaine.
I'll have to run all of these ideas by Kurt Grifter, CEO of Grifter's Cola.
Oh, he's a nice man.
Fucking A. Is that
met
with a
him.
C or a K? That's all I want to know.
It's with a K.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I didn't know they let those kinds of people run companies.
2023.
Yes. Everyone's accepted now.
Yeah.
So getting back on track, I used to, I worked with this guy and we both realized like I really needed this job, and he realized pretty early on that he wasn't getting kept. And I was at kind of that gray area of like, maybe if I work hard enough, like I can keep this job. So when he found out he wasn't getting kept, he like really just weirdly kind of like got attached. Like, dude, I'm gonna like, just frickin' I'm gonna help you out as much as I can. Like, I'm gonna go to bat for you, buddy. Right? So
Just who you want, the person they're not keeping to go to bat for.
right?
You. They're like, listen, I didn't work out or anything,
And
I
here's
suck.
why.
But you should definitely keep this man because he is gonna work out. They're like, you know what? Yes, we're gonna. That's a great recommendation.
All the qualities that I don't have on why I'm not being kept. This guy's got them, man.
They're like, listen, I know as a first-rate fuck up, he's not a fuck up.
So he basically, I was working concession this one day, and he like comes in and he decides he's gonna like run for me. So what running was is basically like he's like getting like the popcorn and stuff like that. I'm just taking the orders.
Nice.
So I also find out at this point that he decided to do ecstasy that day too.
Nice.
So
Was he young and free?
Oh, yeah.
Only
Oh, yeah.
17.
So he's like feeling it, and I'm taking like these orders, and I noticed this one guy who I had already gotten his, like, I'd already taken his money and all that. He's just kind of standing off to the side, and he's just like, dude, can I get my fucking popcorn, please? I'm like, you didn't get it yet? And I look back over, and all I see is Matt just at the popcorn station, and he's like continuing to fill this already overflowing popcorn bag to where it's like falling on his hand. And I just come over
It's
and I was
beautiful.
just like, I literally like, what you doing, bud? And he was like, it just feels so amazing when it falls on my hand.
He's
I was
like,
like,
nutting into the popcorn.
I was like, okay,
Butter.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take this bag and I'm gonna give it over to the guy. You just go ahead. You can keep just
That
pouring
is
it
the
on your
most
hand. You do that, right? And he's like,
unsanitary thing
okay.
I've ever heard.
So I gave him the popcorn,
Oh my
and
God.
the guy was watching the entire time.
He's like, I
and
want this
like,
fucking
I just
popcorn.
give it to
Can I
him.
have some new popcorn?
Here's the best part. He looks at me, looks at the popcorn, looks at the giant line, and then is just like, okay, just walks off.
Man.
Like, dude, the way that I met
what
this
is up
kid.
with that 50-cent popcorn, man? We all fucking love it, though.
Dude,
we
it's
love it.
50-cent popcorn. What are you talking about?
much
As
does it
far-
cost?
It's like $5.
$50.
No. The cost
For
to
them.
the theater.
Yeah.
Oh God,
No,
yeah.
It's
No,
not even
they-
butter, by the way. It's oil.
Yeah, no, I know, dude.
Coconut
it's
oil at my
terrible.
Coconut oil.
Dude, that's why I always get like
Healthy.
the runs after
Yeah,
each
yeah.
time that I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
me
bag.
too.
I'm just like, all right, going to see a
So
movie,
it's like
then
when
I'm
you're-
spending
what about the
50
pump
minutes on the
butter?
toilet.
That's all oil too, and it's like butter flavored
Yes.
oil. Yeah.
It's all oil with butter flavoring.
That's the best kind.
Well, dude, like the popcorn is like
partially
made with, like,
hydrogenated. Yeah,
like the popcorn is like
Yes.
made with like actual like butter in it anyway. So like
Yeah.
if you're ordering it without butter, you're still getting just caked amounts of butter on it. And then like for the
But it
psychos
doesn't
who are
taste
like,
good
I just
unless
want
you
the
get-
extra butter.
It
That's
doesn't
just
taste good
oil.
unless your hand is like dripping with oil. Bro, there's a reason why I only see like one movie a month. And that's because I don't want to die.
That's
You know
because
what I
you're
mean?
still on the shitter
Yeah.
after the first one.
Yes. Yeah, but it's worth it, dude. That's why theater bathrooms always have like 25 stalls. It's not because a lot of people go there. It's because a lot of people are shitting their fucking
a lot of
pants.
popcorn sales.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Dude, no joke. Like how I met this kid, right, was like, I remember like the first day that I was at that job at the movie theater. He came in. He had like this crew cut. He had glasses on. Looked like this straight laced kid, right? So I was like, all right, like I'm pretty sure like that's the goody, right? And like this whole theater.
No, that's usually the drug dealer.
But this whole theater, right? Like it was like this very conservative Christian type of like crew, right? Where they were like
Really?
a lot of them were very uptight, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
I
so
grew up there.
So
I remember.
Yeah.
Born agains. They were mostly born agains.
So like I see Matt and I'm just kind of thinking like okay, he's probably one of those guys. So it was a really busy day. And, we had guys who were just freaking coming in and, I was getting a bunch of just nasty coworkers. Nasty customers who were just yelling at me.
Was it like a Star Wars opening or something?
It was one of those Tuesdays where we would do like $5 movie
Oh,
day,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like everyone's coming in. So I close my line so I can go to lunch. And I go to my locker and I realize that like I left my cigarettes at home. And this is during the time where I was like
boy.
smoking like a pack a day. Don't do that, kids.
but there's
Because
a
it's
gas
so
station.
amazing that you won't want to stop it.
There's a gas station right there.
Yeah, well, no,
You
I mean,
cheap
like, here's the
bastard.
thing. Sorry, I don't know.
You
if
were
it was-
gonna smoke them either way.
I don't know if it was my. Yeah, I think it was my lunch. But anyway, like I still just like like I needed a cigarette right then and there, right? So like I'm so pissed that like I don't have anything, and then like I basically go back into like the hangout room, and I'm just like, okay, does anyone have a cigarette? And they all just look at me with such judgment of like, we don't smoke. Okay, like we're good people, right? The Lord doesn't want us to smoke.
He just put tobacco on this earth for no reason,
Yeah.
though.
It was an
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah. It's like, fuck.
God makes no mistakes, but that was an accident.
It's like, my finger slipped, okay?
So then there's this kid, crew cut, clean, clean shaven face, right? Glasses. He's like, hey, buddy, you. Like the way he talks was kind of like, like a drug dealer to like the first time buyer, right? Just like, hey, pal, right? Like
Hey,
you
wanna
need
taste?
help?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I gotcha. So he comes up and he's just like, like you need, like you smoke cigarettes? I'm like, yeah. Like, well, I'm actually running low too. So here, I'll just give you $20. Go down to the gas station, buy a pack for you and me. and we'll come smoke them together. I was like, sweet, awesome, right? So I go down and I buy 2 packs of cigarettes. And I come back and we're smoking a cigarette, and then like literally he's halfway through his. He's like, "By the way, I'm 17, right?" I'm like, "No, I didn't friggin' know that, man."
No,
like,
oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ! Like I just committed a crime.
Yeah, not a serious
Like,
one,
it's
but
all
a small
cool, man.
one.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. You'll
Cool
get
guy
over it.
crime.
Damn, devil incarnate. Like literally, you just made a deal with the devil, didn't even realize it.
Yeah, no,
Sold his soul for $20.
Yeah.
that was
Not
Matt,
even
man.
$10 in a pack of cigarettes.
He was a cool dude, man. He always freaking like anytime I was in concession,
Yeah.
he'd come up, run for me, right? Like everybody would be like, "Hey, go and run for somebody else." Like, nah, f you, bitch. Like I'm going for my dude here.
You had the smoker run for you?
yeah, man. He was just fucking going back and forth. Seeing like it was good cardio for him.
Nah.
So that's my story. We're moving back on over to, since you're on my left, I guess go with Goodyear first, even though you went before me. But yeah,
So it's about bad work
stories or just crazy work stories,
If you
whatever you want
want.
to tell. It's really anything.
Well, okay. So when I first heard about that, this story came to my mind. I've never really like told it before, honestly, but whatever. I worked as a mover for my stepdad's moving company.
Oh, nice.
And we were moving this hoarder kind of lady. There's a
Oh,
lot of
boy.
them out there.
Yes.
And we were moving her bed, like everything out. And under all her bed stuff, we found this pair of panties on the carpet. And we were just like, okay. And one of us tried to grab it, but it was stuck to the floor. And
You got excited.
we are, well, we are all movers. We're all juiced up, trying to out macho each other.
Yeah.
Why
So
did
this-
I choose to eat right then?
So this panties stuck to the floor was like our like Excalibur, and it was like everyone's mission to try to pull the panties from the carpet
Damn.
to be the king of the movers. And all of us tried, and my stepdad, who owns the company, big guy, bodybuilder guy, he couldn't do it, and he said, "Well, I can't do it. I will give $100
Oh, man.
by the end of the day if anyone can pull these panties off of this carpet."
I didn't know
and-
Victoria's Secret was that strong.
Well, here's the thing. It looked like a pair of granny panties,
Oh.
and
They're elastics.
there was just some sort
I was
of
just gonna say that.
Yeah.
there was some sort of chemical reaction in the carpet itself. Like there was some kind of discoloration. Like there was some sort of transfer of fluids
Oh, yeah?
that has molded the cloth to the carpet.
Fluids.
Like
Laura literally looks like she's dying.
Like I'm
right
trying
now.
to like break this down scientifically. Why there was a magic.
Why the fluids would stick?
Why it was like Excalibur and it was like magical. So, anyways, this one guy.
If it's Excalibur, right? Like the person who finally gets the panties off of the floor, right?
It's $100.
You're king of the movers.
That's what I'm saying. And we all wanted to be it. And Jeff, after my stepdad said $100, he's a meth head, and he's just like, "I couldn't do it before, but I'll tell you by the end of the day, I am going to get those panties off that floor."
It's like,
That's like 50 packs of cigarettes right there.
That is a lot of meth. God
Yeah.
dang it.
dude, $100 would buy you like a tenth of a pound. I'll tell you that.
But anyways, like we did the rest of the move, and it was towards the end of the day, and he kept trying throughout the day, and at the end of the day, he just looked so sad. He walked up to me, and he's just like, "You know, it's bad if I wasn't able to pull them off that floor."
The panties won that day, son.
That's crazy.
I'm a very strong man, but those panties.
if meth strength can't get the panties off the floor,
Yeah.
you know how much coated jizz that has to be?
I don't think it was jizz.
Yeah, no.
I think it was something else.
I think it was lady secretion.
I would say like a.
Lady secretion.
Is what I
She
meant.
was a very lonely woman.
That's what I meant, but it came out as jizz for some reason. We'll cut that out.
I don't think women jizz.
Apparently, I didn't attend health class.
Oh, man.
That's going on the dumbest things people have done.
Listen, guys,
videos that I
somebody
put up.
dates this man. Somebody.
Someone decided to say
It's
yes to this. For the most, he did actually. No joke. This guy did
little bit.
propose to me at a Denny's. All right, we're gonna go into that story for a second.
Yeah.
We're okay.
That's not on topic.
The last one. 'Cause
Me,
I gotta roll.
me and Goodyear, we're at a friggin' Denny's at 3 a.m. So this is
Oh,
the
boy.
best time that things happen there. And it's right after a comedy show. We're both poor. We don't have jobs at this point. We're doing comedy full time. And he's just like, yo, just hear me out, which, as we've covered before,
Oh God, yeah.
it is never
Just
something
hear
you
me
should
out
hear
is
someone
the
out
worst,
for.
Worst.
And then
thing to
I
hear.
was just kind of like, okay, we're at a Denny's, so this
Yeah.
is pretty valid. But I'll hear him out. And
Can't get much worse.
and he literally, I think like the first words that came out of your mouth were like, if you and me got married, just hear me out. Just like, just wait.
You looked very
Oh,
upset.
God.
He was like, you know, a lot of married couples get like benefits and, you know, tax benefits and stuff like that. And we're way too stupid to understand actual tax benefits at this point. We're like, what, 21, 20, like
It's
maybe
all
20
in
years
the children, okay?
And then, like, you know, he keeps ranting about this. And, you know, at first it was a hard no. But then I was just like, I mean, like, it'd be a funny story that we could tell on Conan when we become successful comics, right? And he's like, yeah, right? Like, you know, and it's okay, man. Like, you know, I'm not actually gonna, you know, like be like, you know, it's not gonna be like a real relationship. You can cheat on me and I won't care. It'll be totally cool,
Nice.
man. Like, you know.
I actually was gonna care.
Yeah, I bet.
You would have broken my heart.
He's like,
So
little
then,
does
like-
Alec know, I don't cheat on him.
Like,
said that so he'd say no.
legitimately,
And he
I go visit my dad, my very conservative Christian dad in prison. And I'm just like, so I'm getting married. And he was like, I'm so happy for you. Like, oh my gosh, like, that's so great. Like, you know, who is it? I was like, it's to my best friend. He's like, oh my God, that's
romantic.
awesome. I was like, yeah, his name's Jacob Goodyear. And he's like, where did I go wrong? What happened? Like, what did I
Well, Dad, you're
what
in
did I-
prison.
what did I do? And yeah, no, it was pretty much like, I mean, like, there's literally like,
See,
What you didn't do, Dad.
there's a
Now, my-
murderer like two like tables away from us. But there's no glass in between any of us, by the way. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at the situation around you. If you want to talk about what you did, but also, I mean, like, you know, homosexuality isn't bad, Dad. You should get past this. It's 2012. I mean, like, come on, be better. But yeah, no. And then, you know, I
Oh,
told
yeah.
him, I told him, I was like, hey, Dad, like, you know, don't worry. It's
See,
it's for tax benefits.
He's
My-
in prison, so surely he's doing homosexual.
like,
Yeah.
he legitimately, right? Like,
lightweight.
like,
he's
walking around with
experimenting.
somebody's pocket. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's enjoying his showers.
I guarantee you, somehow he's gonna like hear this podcast.
I
He's like,
hope so.
I have a bone to pick with you, and then I'm gonna
boner?
tell him,
What?
all right, Dad, but before you do,
Yeah.
you were the one who was saying this stuff beforehand.
Not to mention bone to pick. Okay.
there we go.
Yeah,
That's what I was
out.
thinking.
Yeah.
So, like, legitimately, I told him the plan of just like, yeah, don't worry, it's for tax benefits, and he's just like, oh my God, you idiot! I was like, what? He was like, you guys have to have jobs to get these tax benefits that you're thinking of. What you're thinking of is tax evasion, and you can do that single or
Yeah.
like or in a relationship. Like, I was
Yeah.
like,
Tax evasion.
yeah, I know. And then I was like, that's a good thing. Like, you're like, all right, tax evasion, we could look into that. Like,
long as you
you're
never get
just
caught.
saying that we could just not pay our taxes.
Taxes are cool.
Yeah. But you need children to get the money back. That's what you needed.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be married for it either.
We-
Just
we-
on a real note.
We could.
So we should have
yeah,
kids.
we could adopt a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
California. We could make that happen.
Foster children give you the most.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I used to be one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had a couple foster parents who literally just did it for the money.
See, and
That's-
so
that sounds
you
like a
already have
bad
the
job.
blueprint. You already have the blueprint.
Fair. So then, with that, I would say that would conclude this episode of Don't Be Smart, Alec podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before we go, I just want to go ahead and just remind you guys, check out my TikTok. It's going to be Don't Be Smart, Alec. Also, too, if you guys liked Jacob Goodyear, if you guys think he's funny just like I do, check out his TikTok at Good Comedy.
What's good?
At What's Good Comedy. My bad.
He's very
I
good at
believe.
remembering that.
And then producer Nick, do you have anything that you want to go ahead
No.
and plug? All right.
I plug nothing, never.
And thank you guys so much for everybody who has subscribed to the Patreon. We do really sincerely appreciate it. Any subscriptions to the Patreon definitely help out our podcast to grow immensely. So really appreciate it, guys.
And if we put out this podcast for free for some reason, thanks so much, and maybe join.
once again.
And you can hear stuff like this on the paid Patreon.
And before we go, just a reminder, guys, that this video has been sponsored by Grifters Cola. Grifters Cola. We don't care, just buy it. That I think is probably been their least bad slogan.
I like that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good. They're
Just
not,
It's quick.
they're not threatening a child in that one, so that's better than
Yeah.
some of the ones that they've made me say.
Yeah.
I don't know why we signed with them, but we just re-upped our contract. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you next week.